Hello, YouTube. This is Ben Gessel. I have a lot of material here. A lot of material I want to talk about, but I might have to split some of the stuff up into more than one video. It's been a while since I've maybe talked about this particular subject, but I'm going to talk a bit more about cooking and just preparation, different kinds of foods. And so in this arena, it would be really great to hear back from some of you that are more experienced in cooking and quite possibly baking. Although I don't really bake, but I still would like to hear back from you guys that do more baking, perhaps. Since bread is always pretty tasty, it's getting pretty dark, by the way. I don't know if you could see the night sky. I might actually do a video just based on stars, but I'm not very knowledgeable about. Well, I am pretty knowledgeable about astronomy, just I couldn't tell you a whole lot about constellations quite yet. So I might have to study up on that guy. But anyway, that's a break for another time. So let's jump into this here. I'm just gonna kind of go by different food groups here in general. And I know a lot of recipes are combinations of things, so I realize that, but this is kind of a good way of organizing them a little bit. So, starting out with potatoes, with vegetables, and particularly potatoes. There's so many different ways of preparing potatoes. And personally, I will eat mashed potatoes. Definitely, that's fine. But I don't make them myself. I'll eat them though. I know it sounds silly. I think I did this, but I've kind of neglected up until just recently because I haven't really bought potatoes for quite a while, not really regularly. And so, my mom is fond of a quick way of making potatoes where you poke holes in a potato and you nuke it in the microwave, and then you can put butter in it and stuff. That's a great way of making potatoes quickly. But I forgot you can just take a knife and cut a raw potato in little bits or cubes, and then just cook it on a pan with a little bit of oil or butter or whatever. And I think I kind of like that second way, maybe a teensy bit better, but it all depends on how much time you have, I suppose. But there's also the traditional putting it in the oven and baking them that way. But I like to kind of get a lot of flavor infusion in the potato itself. And so I'm curious about, cooking potatoes in a pan or cutting them up, and it's kind of like the curry thing. Like, how Indians like small bits of meat with all the, flavoring infused in it. It's so similar to the thing with potatoes, I think, and rice for like the curry thing. But anyway, if you guys have any ideas about good potato preparation, that'd be great. And of course, I like potatoes with all kinds of stuff. So you can put, potatoes in eggs and with bacon, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that cutting up into small squares works pretty well. And you cook them, with oil or butter or something in a pan for, depending how much you have in there, 20 minutes, 15 to 25 minutes is probably plenty of time, depending how much potato you have. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe half hour. If you have bigger bits. So onion, of course, I'm very familiar with how to saute onion. Of course, you always have red onions versus green onions. Red onions versus white and yellow. Also green too. But I guess it's a question of what you put how you use the onion and where you put it. But I'd be more curious as to what you guys use onions with, and what kinds of onions you use for different kinds of things. But yeah, I'll put onions in stews, but much more often I'll use onions in curries. I'm very fond of curry myself. Green onions, I'll use them a lot to cook steaks with, or at least kind of get some of the green onion flavoring with the steak. Not always, but they're delicate enough that you can actually probably have them raw in a salad. At least the green part. Although, I don't know, I don't really do that too often. Gets a lot more onion flavor though. Carrots. Um, some of these guys I might go through a little quicker, but carrots I could have them either raw or kind of in a stew. I don't. I don't know. It's just um, I don't always cook with a lot of carrots. Um, so spinach, if you cook it a little bit, and of course, like cooking, I mean very briefly, pretty briefly. A lot of these spinach, kale, collard greens, turnip greens. If you cook them, it has to be really quick, and with a little bit of water, a little bit of oil, and you just kind of just really quick, and it's low heat. You just want to kind of soften it up just a little bit. But curious how you guys use those vegetables as well. Here's the big question: how do you guys use garlic, like fresh garlic? I've cut it up before, but I really tried to cut it like that one guy when he was in the prison. He used a little nail file or something to cut garlic so that it was so thin that it would just liquefied, in cooking. But I tried to do that, but kind of a while back, kind of in a family reunion, but it kind of really made my thumbs not so happy. So, if you guys have any input about garlic, that would be great. I've used fresh garlic before, but it's pretty potent stuff. And of course, at least I know how to use those guys. I usually use them in stews. It's just that I always forget I have them. Try not to do that. You have to leave time for each of these vegetables. Artichoke I usually get canned, so I don't I don't get the fresh artichoke as much, and it's just a pain to try to peel it all. But if you guys have any again input about preparation for artichoke, I'm definitely curious. Bok choy, I just lightly saute like the kale and collard greens and turnip greens. Sometimes you'll kind of mix them all up a little bit that way. I'm going to skip past celery and cucumber because they're kind of straightforward, I think, a little bit. And salad greens, like lettuce and baby spinach if you want to, just feed them fresh. Red and green cabbage, skip past that part. Brussels sprouts, how do you guys use Brussels sprouts? And what do you guys combine them with? I've heard they, of course, go great with bacon and things. But maybe cook them in the oven or something. But I'm always curious about how you guys use Brussels sprouts because I don't find them to be very tasty a lot of times. But I don't want to cook them too much because they lose a lot of their nutrients. I don't know. Asparagus, I usually not grill it. I usually put it in a pan and kind of a little bit of oil in there or something, or ghee, butter or something, and I cook them that way. But usually not just water saute for asparagus. I'd like to have a little bit richer something stuff in there. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. How do you guys do sweet potato? I still think it's okay. I'm not crazy about sweet potato. I just, would like to be able to be able to cook it the way my mom cooks it. I think you get a really sharp knife and you cut it in two, or I guess it's similar with squash and butternut squash, but you put something cinnamony in there, a little bit of brown sugar, molasses, or whatever, butter, and you bake them in the oven. That seems to work okay, but I just, that texture of sweet potatoes are kind of different. Maybe it's the acorn squash I'm thinking of, or butternut squash, but I guess butternut more than the acorn I'm thinking of here. But and how do you guys do eggplant? I'm curious about how the East Indians do it, but and also, how do you guys cook parsnips or beets, radishes? I imagine radishes you could probably have them just fresh in a salad, but I don't know. And then rutabaga and turnips. How do you guys make that stuff? I don't know. Arugula I could probably have again, but I don't like the way Trader Joe's does just arugula. It's very potent just on its own. I like it mixed with other kinds of greens. Watercress just goes bad so fast. I have to just use it really quick. But I'm also curious how you guys use watercress. In Swiss chard, rainbow chard, I kind of treat like the other leafy greens. Fennel, I tried buying it once, I just forgot I had it. But how do you guys use fennel? A lot of these guys I haven't really used as much. I'm gonna try to give mushrooms another shot sometime in the future. I just, That's why I like Asian cuisine, because they kind of include mushrooms with their stuff a little bit. It takes a little bit of discipline for me to eat mushrooms sometimes. And bell pepper I could get back into again as well. Anyway, I like to kind of have it fresh maybe a little bit. And tomatoes I kind of go back and forth. I'll get it on occasion. Is it possible to find wasabi anywhere? I know you could probably find it like Wajimai's around Seattle, but it'd be interesting using wasabi for food even outside of sushi. Actual wasabi. Of course, there's also the question of how you use horseradish. And just to sum things up, I've seen yucca root, but yes, it looked a little bit unwieldy. I didn't want to mess with that too much. Or pumpkins. How do you use pumpkin? I don't know. And then the zucchini and squash. But if you guys have any comments about how you prepare these kinds of vegetables, I'd like to know. I'll keep trying to make things more appetizing, or easier to make. Just so I'm always open to trying to get better. I just have to. It takes practice, and it takes. Yeah. So, okay. Now, I have. I've learned how to kind of do kiwi. I'm out of the habit of eating kiwi fruit. But I know I've heard it's that you can take a little spoon. You can kind of cut the kiwi in half and spoon out the green part from the flesh. But it's kind of like peaches. It makes me kind of tingly, gives you the tingles when you feel that fur on the outside. I'm like, and then, you want to get as much of the fruit as possible. So I don't like leaving anything green behind. But kiwi fruit's a little bit unique that way. Pomegranate, I just dive into it. I don't care. I don't have the patience sometimes to do the cut and let it float or whatever. Try that, but I find that I just eat it I just cut it in half and I just start ripping chunks out of that and just start eating the berries. Get all of me. I have a bowl to catch the red juice if any falls. I'm a savage when it comes to pomegranate. Pineapple, I just cut it in half or cut it in pieces, and I just cut the edges off. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys think of how you guys prepare maybe different kinds of tropical fruits. And again, I've had mixed experiences with tropical fruits. Everything tasted better in Hawaii when I was there a while back, and so there's a lot of tropical fruits that I probably haven't had the best types of before. But I just love passion fruit, though. Yeah, passion fruit and lychee. I've had really high qualities stuff from both those types of fruits. And mangosteen and some others, But the papaya in Hawaii is infinitely better than the stuff we have around here. I never get papaya, grocery stores around Washington. But okay, so going into a different section here. So how do you guys prepare your beans? And there's all different kinds of beans here. I've had more experience with lentils, pinto beans, black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas a little bit. But how do you guys, and navy beans as well, how do you guys do, I know you soak them and then you cook them, but do you guys have any suggestions about how to cook them? And with beans, I like to use, there's a certain type of herb, I think, that makes... gastrointestinally it makes everything better for eating beans. Of course, savory is good with it's good herb to use with beans. Anyway, it's one of my other videos, but there's a certain herb that can help with beans. But going on here, one of these days I might try soaking nuts. But I like the salted nut thing, or lightly salted nut. But I'm curious how you guys prepare. If you guys soak cashews or pistachios or walnuts or pecans or peanuts or macadamia nuts or hazelnuts, almonds, Brazil nuts, chestnuts. How do you guys make chestnuts? I've never made chestnuts before. That's what I'm curious about. And if you guys soak any seeds as well. I tried buying flaxseed a while back. I was like, It was fine. It was just kind of tasteless. Kind of. Maybe I need to, again, soak it. I don't know. Of course, you have sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, sesame seeds, and a whole bunch of other kinds of seeds, I'm sure. Now with grains, this is one type of food I try to eat less of, but I will always try good, well-made homemade bread, of course. But how do you guys make bread? I'm just, especially if you're talking about basic, high-quality homemade bread. And have you guys tried making bread out of buckwheat, or how do you guys like buckwheat groats? Millet, amaranth. I know about rice and quinoa and stuff, and pasta. But curious if you guys make homemade pasta. How do you guys make homemade pasta? And spelt and taff. Yeah. Okay, I know I'm going through this kind of quickly. But again, I would definitely appreciate any comments here. Now I made a spice video a while back. I'm going to try to go through some of this a little bit here. Maybe make another video. Alright, I'll catch you guys in the second video here. Alright, take care. Bye.